Welcome back to another episode of my trading vlog where nearly all the views are from returning subscribers. If that's you, hit the thumbs up button. Remember, analyze, make a plan, follow the plan. No fear, no doubt. Let's get into AMC, GameStop, and then we'll hit PLBY, the dollar, SPY. We'll just start making the rounds. This is a daily chart of AMC. I had originally started these chart drawings on the hourly time frame, but I think they look pretty good on the daily at this point. I identified this big rising diagonal triangle. Maybe you want to call it a rising wedge. You may be tempted to do so, but I don't think we have the touch points. Maybe we do if we take this line down and we count this as touch point 1, 2, and 3. 3 right here, making 5 on 5-5. Ha, fifth touch point on 5-5. At any rate, the price has been declining since then in a steady downtrend. Very interesting. Approaching that bearish reversal level at $5. If we hit below there, I'm going to expect a drop down to $4, which is a pretty big drop. I originally had forecasted an ABC correction up to 652 and then perhaps up to 766, but it looks like Ape stole the power there because it is, after all, the same equity. And I'm looking for a drop here as well. Ape now breaking this downtrend a little bit. You may be saying, wow, breakout confirmed, but I would really not get that excited. Really, I wouldn't even put my hope on it. It's been a disappointing thing, Ape, and I don't expect that to change. And just because I said that, it's going to explode. No, really, I'm expecting a further decline here. Yes, the price is above this downtrend, but remember, this equity is sharing value with AMC, so neither one seems to be able to move very well, being limited by the price of the other. GameStop is doing better than AMC, green on the day as well, pushing higher, up 4.49%. I think overall what we're seeing is this bearish divergence in the RSI break, so this is probably a significant high. This is probably the higher high before we start to see a lower low, and at least here on the hourly time frame, at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see the MACD. The histogram here is declining, and the blue short period average is coming closer to that yellow longer period average, meaning that we're likely going to see bearish momentum move in. And for now, it's just correction, but it could turn motive, meaning that we could find new lows. A lot of volume coming in today, I think, overall. I wanted to go back out into the daily time frame and zoom back in a little bit. It was a pretty tall green day, really. We're going to, wow, try to figure this out. I mean, that's a big, strong push. Above 30-period average volume, flat IV. When the implied volatility is not moving and the price is, the price movement's typically temporary. I wouldn't trust the trend. Of course, the short period in the MACD here on the daily time frame is starting to be positive, just barely above neutral at 0.01. However, the longer period average is still below that level. Overall, I want to say we could see some more upside. Maybe we get to that 2270, up to that 2340 resistance area. The RSI would then be up at overbought, and we'd find resistance there, and we'd be testing to see if we have bullish continuation or more downside at that time. So AMC is looking pretty bearish. GameStop looks like it might have a little more upside to it. We're going to jump to the dollar. The dollar chart's been doing weird stuff ever since daily currency swaps at the Fed have occurred. These candles have looked really weird. You know what you do? You just put it into a line chart and go into the hourly time frame and just cut the BS out. It's a whole different chart now. Now it's starting to make sense. We had a pretty steady downtrend for a while in the falling wedge, and the price or the level did break above there. We have failed to set a meaningful trend since then, moving sideways. Just brutal. It's just brutal. Maybe there's even another chart pattern in here. It might even be like some sort of reverse triangle where the overthrow occurred at the beginning of the pattern. I don't like to do that kind of analysis. It's just less productive, not so forward thinking. Maybe we're even going to want to do something like this and say we're moving into some sort of broadening corrective pattern. And it's possible that we go down from here. However, if the dollar can pull up, form a partial decline in this broadening pattern and break above, then we're looking at a reversal and the dollar may bounce as high as 105.90. I've been waiting for the dollar to bounce to push equities down for a while. While we're talking about the dollar, let's look at GLD. This is not the price of gold. This is an equity that follows the price of gold, and you can see that we are still near all-time highs. Volume is starting to peter out, implied volatility is pretty low, and the MACD looks kind of weak here. Zooming in on that just a little better. So overall, what I'm going to be following is this trend in the RSI. Probably have one more high. I say it over and over again. You have divergences in the RSI. It does not mean that price will reverse. What's likely to happen is we're going to see this divergence break, a significant high set, and then we'll see the reversal. I think I'm gonna go look at these futures instead. Might be a little better. Looks different, doesn't it? Same RSI movement though, see that? So we may be looking for one more high before we start this correction in the precious metals. I think that's going to correlate negatively with the dollar. As I say, the dollar might dip and then rip, and that would make sense. But for a while, everything's been kind of going sideways, so not much to say there. Let's go take a peek at SPY, and we'll turn this back into a candlestick chart. That's what people like. And we'll go auto arrange and zoom into a closer time frame. SPY also listing sideways. The dollar, the precious metals, equities, all going sideways. And you may be tempted to say, hey, the MACD here might look like we get a bullish cross above 0, but I would wait. I would really wait. Implied volatility is still low. And this yellow line in the volume, that is the 30-period average. It is slowly declining. We are losing strength here as the price is grinding through a trading range. Who knows what it's going to be? If I had to guess, I'd guess price mirror. And that means we'd see this this rise be reflected over here in a downtrend. Of course, it's hard to say what's going on right now. Nothing's really moving. This makes me want to look at bond yields. This is the 10-year Treasury yield bond. And again, a lot of sideways. A lot of sideways. What do you call that? The markets are just in it's completely indecisive place. Completely indecisive place. It's like everyone got all dramatic about the stock market crashing or the biggest bull market rally ever, and then it's like, just sideways. So, at any rate, let's go check PLBY before I sign off for the day. PLBY. Let's go. PLBY is having a tough go of it overall in the long term. We had a really good day today, pulling up 8.33%, which is a good start at recovering the drop we suffered from earnings. A lot of volume coming in, even a lot of volume today above that 30-period average. Implied volatility is now starting to drop, and that makes sense. The price is now starting to pass through a price range, which it has been stuck in for like months. I'm looking at least since the beginning of March, so it's been at least 2 months. We'll probably see IV drop for a while until we test this downtrend. I was hoping to get that at earnings. It didn't happen. And so at this point, I said we were just waiting for the bottom to occur, and I think that's it. I think we found it. Nice. Sweet. Whew, I held. We have a triple bullish divergence here in the RSI. And now we could even probably call it quadruple. A quadruple bullish divergence forming here. Awesome. I still want to bring it up though. Remember, sometimes the divergences break. If that happens, we'll see one more significant low set. I would hope that's not the case. The MACD though is looking like we might have a shift towards bearish momentum, but it hasn't happened yet. Today was like we set a new low today, and we also had that reversal occur at the same time. So possibly, you can see my losses down here. I'm just holding red. It's possible that we set the low here. We're starting to come back up. That looks nice. Nice rounding sort of a look. It's too small to be like a cup and handle or a rounding bottom in Bulkowski chart pattern analysis, so I would caution against that. I think really what we have here are a couple of peaks coming down. At the same time, we have another trend line to connect these bottoms. That could be a falling wedge. We did have a reversal from there, so it's possible we're looking at moto waves 1, 2. Let me do a 5-wave count here. 1, 2. This could all be 3. This could be 4, and then 5 will take us up to probably to 175, and we'll consolidate. Hopefully, it's a sideways, not a sharp correction, and then we'll be pushing out higher, going back up to 182. With any luck, it's hard to say. It's hard to say at this point. There are gaps, of course, on the daily time frame that have yet to be filled for quite some time. And they'd be sweet gaps to fill. There's one back here from October, or August, I should say, way up at $7. So that was, of course, before a share offering and whatnot. I think that we're going to get some news eventually that will help break the price higher. PLBY Group Options Alert. January 19, 250 calls at ask. 1,000. Oh, open interest. Okay, cool. Let's see here. At the ask, 1,000. So is this someone buying 1,250 January 19 calls? Interesting. Open interest versus... Interesting stuff. I mean, did someone sell? No, because the ask is a buy. Cool. Anyway, I'm feeling good about it still because my analysis here is largely fundamental over technical. fundamental over technical. We're going to get some cost-cutting measures here, and that's going to be fantastic, and I think that's going to be the news that drives the price upward, because basically what that's going to do, it's going to be like the equivalent of Playboy announcing layoffs, which unfortunately drives share prices higher as costs are cut. So, looking forward to that in the future. Taking a turn here and going into the Discord, Edward is back and he is making a lot of good content here, and I am eating it up. It's great stuff. What I really wanted to focus on, though, was the new Jim Cramer channel. This is where Edward, Stock Ed. How do you want to be called, dude? You let me know. At any rate, this is where he's sharing some of Cramer's forecasts and predictions. Here he's even got like a picture of the tweet. Jim Cramer, Apple, own it, don't trade it. Okay, well, we can go through some of these things right now. Let's do the Apple one. Let's just read through it. All right. Edward says, AAPL, Jim Cramer stated, Apple, own it, don't trade it. On a tweet posted on May 5th, 2023. The stock has fallen 1.34% since then. There isn't much to say about this one. Apple has broken out of a long-term downtrend on both the logarithmic and linear charts. There is a bearish divergence between price and the daily RSI, but there is no point in jumping in the gun. No jumping the gun on this one, since price is still trending bullishly above the 50-period average, I think. No, above 50 on the RSI, and has been for a while. Maybe Cramer is right on this one. I don't know. All I know is if he is correct, everybody should wait to go short until price breaks out downwards from the bullish channel that it has been confined in. So we got this big old chart in here, but yeah, you can see the RSI here, in this purple field, this white line, bouncing around above 50. That is definitely a bullish thing. You can see that there is a chart pattern here occurring in the RSI, and there is this massive channel. You know, that looks like a sweet ABC move. If it is a motive wave heading higher, we're gonna be looking for a wave 4 to come down towards that 155 level. And if the price breaks below there, then we'd be calling this an ABC correction, and the new motive wave will be heading lower. So there's a big range here to be careful of. Of course, the price is currently in the middle of this upward channel as volume is decreasing. So, Cramer, I think I think you're wrong. I think this is gonna drop. Probably gonna drop. And it's probably going to be related to whatever happens in China. Anyway, so that's what I got for today. Thank you, Edward, for all of this detailed information. We got several symbols here. I'll be checking up on these regularly. Let's go check out the spy room really quick, too. I know I was at work, and so I wasn't, like, following it totally closely. Obi-Wan came out, and he said, hey, guys, look, a bull flag. And there's, like, this breakout, right? And then it was like, ka-dunk. Whee! What a breakout. That was really fun. So Obi-Wan closed his call for 100% gain today. Congratulations, dude. Nice play. Good work, everybody. That's what I have for today. Happy trading.